Welcome back, day 47. We're going to talk today about overcoming objections. Resolving concerns is one of the most important things for you to understand as a sales representative. It reminds me back to my very first time that I learned how to sell door to door. I was always terrified of any concerns or objections that the customer might bring up. I'd sit there and just long for that customer that would, just kind of go along with it, be quiet, be happy, be excited about the new product and not want any questions to come up. What I realized later on was that those kind of customers always cancel. If they're not saying anything, if they're not bringing up their concerns, that's when you really have an issue that you should be worried about, because the conversation isn't real. Once I hit that turning point for me, my favorite part about selling is hearing an objection, because once they give me an objection, I know they're interested. I know they wouldn't be asking me questions or bringing up concerns unless they had valid interest in what we were talking about. So be excited, be glad, be happy when people bring up concerns. It's one of the best ways to resolve them. So to role play that for just a second, if I'm sitting there with a customer and the customer brings up a concern, rather than being terrified and pulling back and being nervous about how to answer it, immediately go in there with positivity. I'm so glad you brought that up. That's a perfect question, right? Because that gives you the segue, the transition that you need to educate them in how to resolve the concern. There's a couple different formulas that I'm going to go through today to make sure that you have a foundation of how to resolve a concern. The first one is feel, felt, found. This is a very simple formula that you can really apply to any concern that they bring up, and it works so beautifully and simply. The first word, feel, you just say, I understand how you feel. You're showing compassion towards the customer. You're making sure that you and the customer are on the same page. The next part, felt, is when you're going to bring in somebody else. I always love resolving concerns through stories, and the word felt gives you the opportunity to do that. So I understand how you feel, Mr. Customer. Your neighbor, Mrs. Jones, she actually felt the exact same way. This is what happened to her. And then I share the story. Then at the very end, to resolve the concern, rather than making it all about them, I tell them how that customer found the resolution. What Mrs. Jones found was that if she was able to do this, then it solved the concern. So feel, felt, found. Those three words in order can pretty much resolve any concern that you can think of. Another simple formula for resolving concerns is the acronym LICS. This is something that's easy to remember, and we'll give you that simple formula once again. What LICS stands for is locate, isolate, confirm, and solve. And it is exactly what it sounds like. First of all, you want to locate. The best way to locate is to ask great questions. Make sure that you're actually resolving the right concern. Isolate, make sure it's not related to anything else. So many times customers will give you smoke screens that aren't really the concern. So by restating the concern to them, you can go down and really isolate to make sure that it's the next one. Once you feel like you've isolated the concern, make sure you confirm it. And the best way to confirm it is directly restate what you think the concern is. And then last of all, solve. This is when you actually give them the solution to the problem. Those are a couple formulas that should help you in your problem solving and concern resolutions. Make sure that as you resolve the concern, that you don't forget to transition out of the problem. The best way to do that is, for me, has always been option closes. Move into a close right after you've resolved the concern. Another one of my favorites is to go hit them with, if we're able to take care of this, does that mean we're good to move forward with the rest of this process? So that way you get the yes, a soft yes out of them. Once the concern is resolved, they know that they're immediately moving through the sales process towards the close and the completion of the sale. The better you get at this process, the more confident you are with the customer, the more comfortable they will be, and your close percentage and sales rate will increase. Become the professional in this regard. There are entire books and manuals and audiobooks that you can go listen to about how to resolve concerns, and I encourage you to do it, because the better you get your doctorate degree in this one area of sales, the more money you'll make in this opportunity. Good luck, and I hope that these quick tips and formulas will really help you. Thanks.